Assalamualaikum, ladies and gentlemen. This is your first officer, Awais speaking, not from the flight deck for a change. So this video is specially for my fans because one of the most frequent questions that I get asked is about how to become a commercial pilot. So in this video, I'll be talking about it. I'll be explaining you the basic steps and basically just giving you a very brief guideline in how to become a commercial pilot. Now, the first thing I would like to clear a misconception that most of the future aviators they have is that courses like aviation management and engineering courses like aerospace engineering and aeronautical engineering are going to help you become a pilot. Well, the answer is going to be no, because for us pilots, for you to become a pilot, you need a license. Now, if you have done your aviation management, your aerospace engineering, well, that's good for you, but that's not going to help you in any way if you want to become a commercial pilot, because, like you said, we need licenses. And talking about the basic license, I'll be giving you a guideline about the licenses we have. Now, starting off from, we have the first thing we have is called a PPL, the private pilot license. Then we have the CPL, which is called the commercial pilot license. Now, the difference between the PPL and the CPL is that basically you cannot get paid with the PPL. So PPL is going to be just for your own hobby. If you want to fly a two-seater aircraft just for the fun of it, you can get yourself a PPL and you can fly. But at the end of the day, you cannot get paid by a PPL. The next step we have, so PPL is just like if you have your hobby, you just want to fly, just on weekends, maybe rent a plane and you want to just go around for a spin. That is going to be it. Now coming to the CPL, which is the commercial pilot license. Now the word speaks for itself. Commercial pilot license. Now with a commercial pilot license, what happens is that it allows you to fly aircrafts and get paid for it. Now with the CPL, the basic step is that you get into a flying academy, you do your CPL. There's a courses, there's a number of flying hours that you need to complete. You do that, and after that, it comes the instrument rating. Basically, that's like after you do your CPL, there's a few more courses that follow up. After that, the most important one is a type rating. Now, type rating is after you do your CPL instrument rating, you do your type rating. Now, to fly a particular aircraft, like for instance, I'm flying the Airbus 320. Now, to fly that, I need to be A320 type rated. So for every particular aircraft, there's a special type rating. Now, if I want to fly the A380, the Airbus 380, or let's say the Airbus 350, I need to be type rated for that. So now, even if I have an ATPL or CPL, I still need to go and get my type rating for that particular aircraft again. So like I said, now after you do your CPL instrument rating, you do your type rating. In the type rating, basically they teach you how to fly a particular aircraft. After that, then you can obviously work for an airliner. After that, we have MPL. Now that's very new in the aviation industry. MPL is basically a multi-pilot license. Uh, then after that, we have ATPL, the Airline Transport Pilot License. Now the difference between MPL and ATPL, for me, pretty much it's the same thing. It's very close. MPL is very close to having to being like having a frozen ATPL. Now what happens in ATPL is that if you, for example, you get your CPL, let's say you get your CPL, you get your type rating, you're flying the Airbus C20. Now after a couple of years, when you want to become the captain, you still have to go back and do your ATPL because you cannot become a captain without having your ATPL, the Airline Transport Pilot License. Now for the ATPL, what you can do is that you can straight away go, instead of doing a CPL, you can straight away go and do your ATPL, and you're set for life basically. With an ATPL, the Airline Transport Pilot License, you have to pass 14 subjects. Then you have to do your like the basic flying and all that, and then when you come back, you do your type rating for a particular aircraft. Uh, now this is like the basic guidelines of different courses, different licenses that we have. Now, uh, now people ask me they ask me for my advice. Now, see, if you want to become a pilot, if you want to become a commercial pilot, what you're gonna do is that if either you're doing FSC, you're doing your CBSC, you're doing your A levels, basically after your 12 years of high school, what you're gonna do is you have to find yourself a flying academy. Now, there are a few things that you need to look at before choosing the right flying academy for yourself. Obviously, the budget is going to be there. You have to look what flying academy falls under your budget. The second thing that you have to look at is the number of flying hours they're going to give you, the type of license that you're going to get, the type of aircraft you are going to fly. Because to be very honest with you now, in the general aviation industry that we, the aviation industry we have right now, when you go to apply for an airline, they're going to ask you that how many flying hours you have. So my personal suggestion for you is going to be that look for a flying academy that is linked to an airline. What happens with that is that after you complete your courses and you successfully complete your flying hours, then you get the company, the airline basically is going to pay you for your type rating. And I mean, you have already paid them everything. So basically, you're going to do the type rating through the airline, and then you're going to start flying for them. Now, what happens with this is that you'll be building hours very quickly. And yeah, for example, the way I did it is that I joined a flying academy, I paid for it, and after I was done with the courses and after I successfully completed my flying training, I started flying for the airline. I built up my hours very quickly. I had a contract with them which says that I can fly with them for 1,500 hours. So by the time I was done, I had my ATPL in my hand. So that's one way to do it. That's basically the best way to do it. Other than that, yeah, there's a long procedure which is a bit cheaper. You can go look for a flying academy. You can do your PPL, CPL there. Then you can gradually get to instrument rating and then your type rating. That's a long process, but at the same time, it's much cheaper as well. So now these are the two options we have, and like I said, I'm going to say it again: don't fall for the misconception that if you do business, aviation management or courses like aerospace engineering, and that they're going to help you in becoming a pilot. Maybe yes, knowledge is never bad. So maybe yes, they can help you. Like your basics are going to be better, but at the end of the day, you need a license to fly a commercial airline aircraft. Now, the other question, proceeding to the other question, is that the people with the background of business or commerce or arts or whatever, if you're not in the science field. Now, they ask me if they can become a pilot. Well, that depends on the flying academy because every flying academy has a different criteria. But what I think, according to my experience, what I think is that if your basic knowledge of maths, physics is good, then and you as long as you can pass their entry exams, I don't think that should be a problem. Uh, the next question is that people ask me if they're wearing glasses like their eyesight is now 6 by 6. Can they still become a pilot? Well, for commercial pilot, yeah, as long as when you wear your glasses and you see perfectly, should be okay. So yeah, well, that's all for now. Thank you so much. Just thank you so much for watching. If you like the video, if you think it's helpful for you, do share it with your friends. Do subscribe to the YouTube channel. And if you have any more questions, just comment below. And inshallah, in the next video, I will be addressing those questions as well. Thank you so much. And like I always say, remember being in your pairs. Allah Hafiz.